Good afternoon, everyone. Well, it's afternoon for me. It's 1:17, as you guys can see. My name is Oscar, and today we are going to be building a menu icon bar. We're going to be building a vertical example, and we are also going to be building a horizontal example. I'm on Mac, so I'm going to be using my terminal quite often since I am very comfortable with it. I'm pretty sure there are some Windows users or some Linux users that have their own command line user interface, but today we're going to be using the Mac. So let's get started. Let me begin with saying that this is all going to be HTML and CSS. It's going to have no JavaScript. We're going to be using a little library from Font Awesome. Other than that, it's going to have a little animation when you hover over it. When you hover over the icons, it's going to fade into black and it's going to fade out back to the normal color. And then the active button is going to be green, highlighted green. I don't have any other pages connected at the moment. This is just a quick demo on how to get, a quick div created with some little other divs or anchor tags, I should say, with their own little icons and little animation for your website, for anything. So you can build this from scratch. You don't need to use like jQuery or any of that stuff or Bootstrap. Uh, Class setup, whatever you would call it. So this would be all scratch HTML and CSS. All right, let's get started.
Alright, let's begin by creating our files. Sorry if I sound a little different. I did change my microphone as I noticed at the last part. My voice was kind of fading in and out and I wasn't really able to hear myself. So I hope this is a lot clearer for you guys. So I'm going to be using my command line, and as you can see I already have my two files that we need. I have my index and my styles, and then I'm going to use my HTML little cheat. And then we're gonna be using our CSS page as well, and then we're going to link that, wrong one. We're going to link that with our link tags. We're gonna go ahead and add styles. Then we're gonna make sure that we are connected by just adding a quick background color black. I just want to make sure that my page is working properly. And then I'm gonna start up a quick little local server. Sorry that my typing is awful. I am not an expert at typing. Silly me, I already had that. And we're connected. Our CSS page is connected. We're just gonna shut that off real quick just because I'm recording and I'm running my code editor, and I am doing a lot of things. I'm gonna run a server, and I don't want the computer to crash on me. So let's go back, and we had a link tag to Font Awesome. We're going to be using Font Awesome's icons because they're pretty cool. I like them, in my opinion. You can use whatever fonts you like, but this is just the library that I was using. So I'm going to leave it below in the description for those who want to use it. If not, you can use your own, or you could create your own. A lot of people like to create their own. So we also had, I believe, what was a div for the wrapper. We had an icon wrapper, and then we had, I believe, 5 anchor tags. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't count. Let me backspace these a little bit. Did I miss one? How did I miss one? We got 5. Perfect. Now that we got 5, we are going to be adding the classes for the anchor tags because we need to give them their their class name for the icons that we want to be using from the Font Awesome library. So we're going to be getting the first one was, I believe, the home. I think it was the home button. Yeah, the FA home. And then let's just double check if that is working. Oh, hey, well, you can see it a little bit, kind of. Uh, I need to turn off the background color. I forgot about that. We don't want that right now. Now we got to start up the server again. And boom, we can see it. It's right there. It's right in the little tippy corner. I'll make the font bigger in a bit, just so we can see that. Let's make it 50 pixels, just so you guys can see. Bam, there we go. Alright, now let's also add, I'm gonna make it a little easier for myself and just copy and paste these here. We're just gonna change the end of the home, which are gonna be the type of icons we're gonna be using. So we had, I believe, which was the search. We had the envelope. And then we had the globe for the web, in case people want to go back to Google. And then we had the trash can. Let's start up our server. And boom, they're all there. They're all nice and close to each other. But we're going to change that. Go ahead and kill the server. Let's continue and add some styling now. We want to grab the icon bar by using the dot icon, not icon, and then we're gonna add a little width so it can have a little bit of more space, which is gonna be 90%. I can't see the 90% on my keyboard. And the background color is going to be a little bit gray. It's gonna be dark gray. Then for the anchor tags, I want the anchor tags to have their own color. So we're gonna give them a little display that makes the links up here below each other by giving it a block. And then we're going to align them by aligning them to the center. And then we're gonna pad a little bit of on each side to give them a little bit of their own space inside of their own little anchor tag. I'll explain that a little bit more in the page when I get in the dev tools. And then we're gonna add a little bit of transition for whenever anyone hovers it. And we're gonna do it to all. We're gonna do it for 0.3 milliseconds. So it's gonna be 3 milliseconds, and it's gonna ease out. So the color for the icons, I want them to be white, and the font size for them, I want those to be 36 pixels, just for now. And it does. Boom, look at them, right there. They're all up on top of each other, one below the other and one above the other. And by the padding, when I was explaining in our dev tools, I'm going to go ahead and grab the element. As you see the little borders around, this anchor tag has its own little space as well when we use the width. So it has 90% width of the screen. As you can see, we're missing 10% of it. But this anchor tag has its own inner layer and has the padding. The green is the padding that we added on, and it has the padding space around the whole box. And then we could also add some margin, which adds another outer layer, but that's a little bit more in depth into CSS, but that's not what we're here for. But I was just trying to show you guys what I was adding for the padding. So let's get this out of here. The dev tools is really useful, so I highly recommend you guys learning how to use it. I'm so grateful that one of my mentors, Justin Meyer, helped me and introduced me into the dev tools, and honestly I use it every single time I code. It's so useful. All right, so let's kill this. Let's go back to this, and now when people hover over the icon as well, I want it to fade in a different color. We're gonna add the hover, as you can see, and then for the hover I want the background color to be black. And then for the we're gonna add an active class. We don't have an active class, but I'm just getting a little ahead of myself. We're gonna have a background color of green. I don't know these numbers by memory. I have my little notes on the side, so that's how you can see that I'm typing in these numbers rapidly. I don't know these numbers by heart, but I'm kind of comfortable with a little bit with the 3 ones. So those are pretty good. The single digit ones, the RGB, those are pretty good. I like those. Anyways, let's go back and look at our page. Alrighty, so I just realized I forgot to add the active name class. Let's go ahead and add that. So when people are on the current page, it will be green and show the user what page they're on. So there we go, and it works perfectly fine. So to make the horizontal version is not really any different. You just add a couple more, I believe 2 more properties. So what I'm going to do is just copy and paste this to make it easier for myself. Go ahead and add a little header. This is the vertical example, and then at the bottom we're gonna have the horizontal example, and then down here we're gonna have our little anchor text. So all I'm gonna do is change the icon bar class name to just add a little number 2, and then on the side you can see all we need is just to copy the same styles that we had for the first icon bar and just add a 2 at the end of each, so we are targeting the icon bar 2 one with the class name of that one. And then we're gonna take off the 90 pixels, and we want it to cover the whole screen of the device, and then we're going to make it overflow, and we're gonna make it auto. We no longer need the display, so we're gonna add the float, so all of our anchor tags can float together, and then we're going to add a width of 20% because that's what we want our anchor tags to be. And then we're going to add pixel for our padding because we no longer need it for the sides, we just want it for the top and the bottom. So this should be working as we want it to be working, as this is working. And let me just turn on the server, and it's just going to be in horizontal form. So I'll go ahead and refresh this, and there we go. Boom. Pretty easy, not that difficult to create. You could change up your own color if you want to change your own color for whatever reason, for it to fit your style. We're going to go ahead and refresh this, and whenever people hover over it, it's blue. It's pretty simple, not that difficult. If you want to change the active ones, you can make them different color too. We could make them white, change those into white, but you're obviously not going to see it, but you get creative. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you stayed for the whole little guide, I really appreciate it. I am not an expert. All these videos are just for my own growth. I'm trying to help myself become a better developer and become a better developer as in explaining my code. And I think if I manage to do these videos and you guys give me a little feedback, it'll be great, and it'll help me out a lot, and hopefully we can learn together. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your night. Goodbye.